Welcome to the Jewish Diaspora Report. On this episode, in honor of Black History Month, we are going to explore the origins of the Ethiopian Jewish community, their escape to the land of Israel, and the current challenges they face. Let's get started. The Jewish community of Ethiopia had been established in somewhere around the destruction of the First Temple in 587 BCE. The origins of the Ethiopian Jews are unclear, although some do believe that they are descendants of the king of Israel Solomon and Queen Sheba. Scholars once believed that during the Middle Ages, the Beta Israel, or Ethiopian Jews, were a homogeneous group living under a unified autonomous Jewish rule. Yet new discoveries shown that it's a little bit more complex than that. Sometimes Beta Israel, or the Ethiopian Jews, were treated well by the Ethiopian monarchy, but other times they did suffer persecution. When fellow Ethiopians referred to Beta Israel as falasha, a derogatory term meaning outsider, sometimes this became a bigger issue, like in 1624 when the ruling king's army captured many Ethiopian Jews, forced them to be baptized, and denied them the right to own their own land. According to local legends, some members of the Beta Israel chose suicide over conversion. Since the Beta Israel community existed in isolation from other Jewish communities around the world, they developed a unique set of religious practices, in some ways quite different from what was typically considered to be Jewish by the other branches of Judaism. For example, an order of Ethiopian Jewish monks was founded in the 15th century to strengthen the community's religious identity and resist the Christian influence. This monastic movement introduced an organized approach to religious practice, creating new religious literature and prayers and adopting laws of ritual purity. This can be seen in one of the first Western accounts of Ethiopian Jews that describes a community that followed legal sections in the Hebrew Bible, observing laws of purity surrounding menstruation, birth, and death. They observed Shabbat, and they believed in values such as respecting elders, receiving guests, and visiting mourners. The community apparently referred to their Torah as Orit, which possibly comes from the Aramaic term of the Torah Oritah, and kept their Torah scrolls covered in colorful cloths in the house of prayer and or in homes of one of the priests, called Kesim. The traces of Judaism within their community is obvious, and it seems like they got along with their community at times, but also did not get along with their communities and faced some persecution, similar to their brethren across the world. Literacy rates among the Ethiopian Jews was very low, so finding records and books on these topics is very difficult. However, we do have oral traditions that date back to the beginnings of the communities and very rich culture. When we come back, we're going to take a look at how this community was treated within their borders and how they ended up making their way to Israel. This is the Jewish Diaspora Report. We'll be right back after this break.